Center of mass. By definition, if I have one particle of mass m1 here, another particle of mass m2, I have the coordinate origin as 0, 0 here. Now coordinates of this are x1, y1. Coordinates of this are x2, y2. XCM, center of mass, is defined as m1 x1 plus m2 x2 upon m1 plus m2. Similarly, YCM is defined as m1 y1 plus m2 y2 upon m1 plus m2. Generalizing this, XCM will be written as sigma of mi xi upon sigma of mi. YCM, sigma of mi yi upon sigma of mi. If I have a three particle system placed on the equilateral triangle here this way, note, first of all write down 2 points. Note, center of mass is independent of the coordinate system chosen. That means I can place the origin here, I can place the origin here, I can place the origin here, I can place the origin here. Anywhere I can place the origin, center of mass will be at the same point. Second, write down the second point. In the absence of an external force, center of mass remains at rest or continues to move with uniform velocity. Now here, when you give me three identical masses placed on the equilateral vertices of a triangle of side A, I would prefer to consider to find out the center of mass. Obviously, here it is symmetric, so I know the centroid is the answer because all of them are identical masses. Now suppose I consider this to be M1, M2 and M3. If they would have been identical, the center of mass will be at the centroid.
Yes, sir.
Now suppose that is M1, M2, M3. Right? Now if this is the origin, I am assuming the origin to my convenience because according to the first point, center of mass is independent of the coordinate system chosen. I will assume origin in such a way so that at least coordinates of one of them will be 0. What will be the coordinates of this? X coordinate is A, Y coordinate is 0. Now this will be A by 2. A root 3 by 2. So now the x coordinate of the center of mass will be m1 into 0 plus m2 into a by 2 plus m3 into a. Similarly, YCM of the coordinate of the center of mass will be m1 into 0 plus m3 into 0 plus m2 into a root 3 by 2 upon m1 plus m2 plus m3.
Yes, sir.
So that's the way you will calculate the coordinates of the center of mass of any system. Are you trying to tell me if this is m1 and m2 and the distance between them is d? Where will the center of mass lie? Have a look at this. 1 second. Now both of them are identical masses, then it would have been a d by 2. Now this is m1 and m2. So center of mass will lie somewhere here. Now when you are trying to find out the value of center of mass, I will take this as x1, I will take this as x2 and I will place the origin here. What are you saying? Yes, I will place the origin at the center of mass. Placing the origin at any particular point is of my interest. The point to be noted is, you can place the origin at your convenience. Center of mass is independent of the coordinate system chosen. Now what did you do here? You placed the origin at the center of mass. You don't know where the center of mass is. Only if I tell you the value of x1 and x2, you will know the position of center of mass. But I assume the origin to be there. If the origin is at the center of mass, XCM will be 0. M1 minus x1 plus m2 into x2 divided by m1 plus m2. So you are telling me XCM's coordinate is 0 because you placed the origin at the center of mass. And hence this became minus x1 because from the center of mass you are going towards the left. m1 x1 is equal to m2 x2 is my first equation. x1 plus x2 is equal to d is my second equation. Will I get the value of x1 and x2? Yes. How do I get that? x1 will be m2 x2 upon m1 plus x2 is equal to d. x2 into m2 plus m1 upon m1 is equal to d. x2 is m1d upon m1 plus m2.
So you cannot
The next step, bring this to the denominator. Take m1 here, bring m1 plus m2 to the denominator. Right? Similarly, calculate x1.
Yes, sir.
Take it down till here.
So what is the reason that we take center of mass is independent of the coordinate system chosen?
Naturally, it depends only on the masses of the body. Coordinate system is for your convenience to calculate the position. Now suppose two people of equal mass are standing at a distance of d. Wherever you place the origin, center of mass will be at the center because both of them are of equal mass. Now suppose I take m and m, center of mass will be at the center. You place the origin here, 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 anywhere. You may measure different coordinates because of the difference in the origin. But for that, the center of mass will be at the same position. It depends on the masses of the two bodies. So you calculated x2 in this particular case. You told me this was m1, this was m2, this was x1 and x2 and this distance is d. You calculated x2 as m1 into d upon m1 plus m2. That means what will x1 be equal to m2 into d upon m1 plus m2?
Yes, sir.
Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Now on the contrary, if I try to change the coordinate system, I took this as m1 and m2, the distance between them is d. Now I place the origin here at m1. In the previous example, while calculating the position of the center of mass, I placed the origin at the center of mass. Now here I am placing the origin at m1. xcm will from here the distance, that means indirectly you are calculating x1. What happens to that? m1 into 0 plus m2 into d upon m1 plus m2. xcm means that will be the position of the center of mass from m1. Don't you think that is x1 here? Are you getting the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Is the logic clear to all? Now, listen to this. Second characteristic of center of mass, what was told to you was, in the absence of an external force, position of center of mass will remain the same. If it were at rest, it will continue to be at rest. If it is moving with uniform velocity, it will continue to move with uniform velocity.
Yes, sir.
Now consider this state. This is a wooden plank of length L. There is a man standing here. Let the mass of the man be small m. Let the mass of the plank be capital M. Let the mass of the man be small m. Mass of the plank be capital M. Whole of the mass of the plank will appear to be concentrated at its center because it is a uniform plank. This plank is kept on a smooth surface, or say it is on a river.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If the man moves to the left end of the plank, what will be the distance by which the plank moves in the backward direction? If the man walks from one end of the plank to the other end of the plank, what will be the distance moved by the plank in the opposite direction?
L.
No. Have a look at it. The combined center of mass of small m and capital M will come somewhere here. Say, position of the center of mass should not be affected. Now the plank will move back by a distance of x. So that now this is capital M and the man is on the other side of the plank. By the time the man moved by this particular distance over the plank moved back by a distance of x such that the position of the center of mass from this y-axis, say this is y-axis. I drew above and below so that you can see that the position of the center of mass from the y-axis is the same. Right? Now position of center of mass remain the same. So the x coordinate of center of mass is the same. Y obviously is the same because the man is moving in the horizontal level. Vertical, there is no displacement at all. So what is the initial center of mass xcm? This will be small m into L plus capital M into L by 2 upon small m plus capital M. Why? The man is at a distance of L. Capital M is at a distance of L by 2. Now final center of mass, small m into x. What is the distance of the man from the y-axis? It is at a distance of x. plus capital M into x plus L by 2 upon small m plus capital M. Now both of them should be equal. Initially what was the center of mass? Finally also it should be the same because there is no external force. Now equate both ml plus capital ML by 2 is mx plus capital mx plus capital ML by 2. So x is equal to small ml upon small m plus capital M. So this is the distance moved by the Planck. How much distance did the Planck move? When the man moved a distance of L on the Planck moved a distance of x in the backward direction. So with respect to ground, what is the distance moved by the man? The distance moved by the man is only this. That means he moved a distance of L minus x.
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
It was also written in absence of external force, the center of mass moves with uniform velocity. If the man moves and the Planck does not move, it does.
If the center of mass initially was moving with uniform velocity, it will continue to move with uniform velocity. If the center of mass initially is at rest, it will continue to be at rest. Here initially the center of mass was at rest, it will continue to be at rest. Now before we can jump over to the next topic, one more point here. In the previous example, when I placed the center of mass at the origin, this is x1 and x2. When I place the center of mass at the origin, x1 and x2. Now here you got the answer, m1 x1 is equal to m2 x2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Further I can write m1 delta x1 is equal to m2 delta x2. In the absence of an external force, where center of mass should remain at the same point. If due to mutual attraction, this moves by a distance of delta x1, then this will move by a distance of delta x2, so that this condition holds good and the center of mass will remain at the same position.
Yes, sir.
Hence, can I apply the logic here? Yes, there is no external force. In the absence of an external force, center of mass was at rest. If I know the distance moved by small m, I will know the distance moved by capital M. Using that formula, m1 delta x1 is equal to m2 delta x2 in this particular case. What will delta x1 be? Delta x1 will be the distance moved by the man. It will be L minus x in this particular case. The distance moved by the man with respect to ground is L minus x. On the Planck, he walked by a distance of L. The Planck went back by a distance of x. Capital M moved by a distance of x. Small ml is equal to small m plus capital M into x, and hence x is equal to ml upon small m plus capital M.
Sir, can you please say what actually center of mass and it relates to which quantities and what factors
Center
affect the
of
center
mass
of
for a system of particles is defined as the point at which whole of the mass of the body appears to act. If I have n number of particles, center of mass will be that point at which all the particles' mass appears to be concentrated at that particular point.
Sir, we cannot predict the frame of reference for center of mass.
Frame of reference. What is this frame of reference in center of
Sir,
mass?
means this is inertial frame of reference we are taking.
I can take any frame of reference. If I take accelerated frame on center of mass, I will draw a pseudo force. What has that got to do with center of mass?
So, sir,
Center of mass is independent of the coordinate system chosen.
yes, sir.
Precisely, center of mass is that point at which whole of the mass of the system appears to be concentrated at.
So I am telling that if we consider such a system, the man walks over the block, man will be at rest with respect to the ground, and block will just move backward.
Listen. If the man is at rest with respect to ground and the Planck is going backwards, now
Yes,
there
sir.
will be a situation where the center of the Planck and the center of the man will coincide.
Yes,
So
sir.
then the combined center of mass should be at that particular point.
Yes, sir.
That means the center of mass shifted from here till here.
Yes,
If the
sir.
center of mass is shifting that position, then there should be an external force on it.
So then what will be that external force?
You are telling me there is no external force, so I am telling you this is not possible. There is no external force, there is no friction is what you are telling me. Then hence I am telling you that is not possible.
So can you just explain it without considering the center of mass in by laws of motion?
By the way, would you repeat your question first? You want the man to be at rest. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
If the man to be at rest and there is no external force on the system. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So that is what I am explaining using Newton's laws. Newton's second law is F external is equal to dP by dt.
Yes,
There is
sir.
no external force, so there should be no change in momentum of what? In Newton's laws, you took one particle system. If it is a multiple particle system, that will be the center of mass.
Yes, sir.
Now, hence, center of mass should be at the same position.
Yes, sir.
And if the example which you are telling me, man will be at rest and Planck is going backwards, there must be an external force for it. Without an external force, that is not possible.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the example, you just explained us that a man is moving on the left hand side and the plank is moving on the right hand side. The one
Man
you
is-
explained us now.
Huh.
Sir, in this example, doesn't the center of mass of man and plank collide? The man will walk over the center.
The center of mass
At the
collide.
axis.
What do you mean by center of mass collide? Center of mass are coordinates.
Coincide. Coincide.
Coincide, sorry.
Coincide while walking.
Yes, sir.
Center of mass of the combined system is here. It will remain
Yes,
at
sir.
that particular point. This mass will cross this mass also will cross this particular point. They'll cross that particular point. Small m is crossing this coordinate and coming till here. Capital M is crossing this coordinate. If capital M remained here itself, when small m came to the side, then center of mass will have to come here.
Yes, sir.
For which I need an external force.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Understood.
Yeah.
Say if instead of the man beginning to start walk, if he is already walking, then the center of mass will be in motion with uniform velocity.
For which there should be an external force which set it into motion. Man walking will not be an external force. Somebody from behind gave a velocity v and left it. They are not pushing it. They gave a velocity v and left it. Then center of mass is moving with uniform velocity. It will continue to move with uniform velocity.
Yes, sir.
All of you have HCV with you.
Yes, sir.
Page number 160, question number 12. What is the mass of this man?
50.
Mass of this man?
60.
Mass of the plank?
40.
That means the center of mass will be here. If I place the origin here, XCM in this case is 50 into 0 plus 40 into 2 plus 60 into 4 divided by 50 plus 40 plus 60.
32 by 15.
Now when both the people walk down to the center of mass, now center of mass should shift here such that it remains at the same position. The plank will move back by a distance of x and this will be 2. When both the people came to the center, center of mass will center of the plank and both the people are at the center. Then center of mass should lie here, but center of mass cannot shift its position. It should be at this particular position. Hence, in the second case, XCM is 50 into x plus 2 plus 40 into x plus 2 plus 60 into x plus 2 divided by 50 plus 40 plus 60. You are asking me to find out the value of x. Say that again.
So the board center will move only by x, not x plus 2.
No, it will move only by x. See, if the left end of the boat moves by a distance of x, the center of the boat also will move by a distance of x. Boat cannot be stretched.
You have written x plus 2.
Here are the coordinates of that here. If the boat moved by a distance of x, what will be the coordinates of the man and the boat? This man's coordinate will be x plus 2.
सही got.
Fine. This was the coordinates introduction for center of mass. We will have to deal with this for extended bodies in the next class.
Yes.
We will continue in the next class.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So if we take center of boat as origin,
Here you will not be able to solve that because you have three particles. Only when you have two particles, it is convenient for me to use m1 delta x1 equal to m2 delta x2. When there are three particles, how do you incorporate m3 delta x3? Two of them you will have to, for both of them you will have to find out a common center of mass, consider that mass and this mass and solve it. That will be very messy. Hence, independently calculate the initial center of mass, final center of mass, equate both of them. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.